Hey everyone, it's Kayla Simone. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back. So I know it's been a minute since I talked to y'all, and I know I feel like I get on here every time and give you the spiel about why I haven't filmed in a while. But let's be real. Some of us working adults, we have stuff going on, and between PCSing and moving to Fort Drum and getting acclimated and preparing for my husband to deploy while being a mom, it's just a lot, So I have decided that I will come on here when I can. I will give you updates as needed and as I see fit. And if the demand rises, then it rises. But for now, listen, we're living life and things have to get done. But this is another military update about us finally moving to Fort Drum. I know I wanted to do a video with my husband, but we just kind of tried to enjoy each other as best we could as a family before he left. And so this will just be my opinions and my experience. Number one, PTSing and moving for the first time with the military, and then just what I think about Fort Drum so far and the different things that I've learned. So if you would like to hear, stay tuned and keep on watching, and hopefully this video helps. Okay, so first things first, this is not military related, but if you like my curls and you just so happen to be wondering what I've been using in my hair, I am a brand ambassador for Curls Dynasty. Their hair products have really been keeping my hair moisturized, especially because the climate is a little different in Fort Drum. It's starting to get warm now, but in March when we first got here, it was initially cold and all of that. We have luscious curls. So if you are interested in Curls Dynasty products, definitely check out my Instagram, but also click the link down below and use my coupon code. It'll be in the description box, and you will be able to get a percentage off of your purchase if you choose to use Curls Dynasty. Okay, so PCSing and how that was for us, and I know sometimes it can vary depending on what's going on, but we end up moving out of our apartment in Durham March 10th, I believe, is when we drove up here. And my husband had already moved into our apartment, but we had to wait on the movers to come. So we did do a military move. There's a whole different world of lingo when it comes to military life. So getting acclimated to that is crazy. But the movers were scheduled to come a certain day. We had to talk to the moving company, and my husband had to put in for that to happen. So a lot of things were we had to really communicate. I went to his graduation. Once I left his graduation, he left and got on a plane and went straight to his duty station, got our apartment. He was in a hotel for a couple days. But one thing I will warn you all about, your spouses, if they're leaving out of basic training, or your boyfriends or whatever, make sure that they really communicate with their unit, because they don't tell them a lot of things, and a lot of things you have to ask about or inquire about. Make sure they have money on them, because sometimes with the military, you do have to front the cost of things and then they'll reimburse you. Now, the reimbursement period is pretty quick, I would say. I don't think we did a whole lot to get our reimbursements from moving, but we decided to drive our own vehicles up here. The military will move them for you, but I think they'll only move one, and Cameron wants to drive his car, so we did that. And we wanted to pack some more stuff in our cars and let the movers take the other things, because some things we wanted to keep with us. So there was about a week gap in between when the movers came to pick up our household goods, and Kennedy and I was in the crib thugging it out. You hear me? Thugging it out. We didn't have a bunch of stuff. She had her playpen, I had an air mattress, and we was just chilling, cooling, getting it done. And so our household goods arrived here pretty quickly. The movers that came were excellent. And I know that's not everybody's story, but they came, asked about what needed to be packed up, labeled everything, packed up everything quickly, expeditiously, for what I expected them to move a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom apartment. And they had our stuff there literally within the next 24, I want to say it was within a day. they had our stuff at, I want to say they picked our stuff up on Monday, and then they had it to Cameron by Wednesday in New York. So they was driving. And granted, they had other stops to make in between. So that was pretty quick in my opinion, because sometimes I've heard that military, we just got really blessed. I'm gonna just say that, because I've heard that military families can sometimes get to their spot and have to wait a month or however long for their household goods to get there. So the fact that we somehow set it up, and I'm not even gonna say it was us, it was probably by the grace of God that we set it up to where he was already in our place before we even got there. So we didn't have to move and then look for places to stay and be out of a home for a while. There was no gap. It was like, it overlapped. He moved into our place in February. He was there for a few weeks before us. And then by the time March came, they came and picked up our stuff. Cameron came down. We had 10 days to get things together and come back up here before he had to report back to work. So that was that. So that was the moving process. It was pretty straightforward. I will say they just threw a lot of stuff in boxes, but that's, you know, they did it by room, which was nice. So once you found a box, you pretty much knew where it would go. And for me, I personally just don't like stuff sitting around, especially because I knew there was a possibility he was going to get deployed. So while there were two of us at home with the baby and figuring out this whole process, my goal was to unpack as much as I could and get as much organized as I could before he left. That way, when he left, I wouldn't feel like I'm in this mess or disarray because there's stuff everywhere. Like, I can't stand it. I realize that for my mental health, that my space has to be open and clear, and you know, at least have somewhat, like, everything's not perfect, don't get me wrong. Like, there's some stuff in the dining room and the kitchen that I still have to get together, but and also in our laundry room and all that, but it's still relatively together. So that was really helpful. I will say, I've told everybody this, when we moved on base, I've grown to actually love it here, because we had a pretty updated apartment. It was nice, but the way that rent is going right now and the direction that everything is inflating, I am super grateful to be on base, because I complained about how ugly the kitchen was. I don't care about that. Like, I don't care. I did some renter-friendly hacks, put on some contact paper on the kitchen counter, and switched out the knobs to make it a little cuter. It is what it is. We are not, I mean, we are paying for it. It's coming out of my husband's check technically, but we don't have to worry about not having a roof over our head. And that is probably one of the biggest blessings ever. So, when seeing the apartments online, I was kind of like, I don't know what it's going to look like, the floor plan, but I found out that the square footage here is actually bigger. Yes, some things are outdated. I don't have stainless steel appliances anymore, white refrigerator gang, but, you know, things work. You know what I'm saying? Like, all the superficial stuff aside, I'm enjoying the challenge of making this space feel like home and making it work. It is free of charge for me. So I'm really grateful for that. I've been doing little decorative things, trying to spruce up the house. I love that we have an actual dedicated laundry room. So we lost the bathroom. We had a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom. This is a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom. We lost the bathroom, and the bathroom here is much smaller than what we're used to, but we are making it work. Especially right now, it's just Kennedy and I. So it is not that bad. It's almost like I have a bathroom to myself. And so, you know, I really appreciate it. I like the challenge of making the space work for us. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't know if you guys want any more in-depth, or you want like a house tour. I don't know if y'all are interested in that, but just let me know if you're interested in like seeing what on-base housing looks like here at Fort Drum, at least for the apartments. And it really doesn't feel like an apartment because we have our own garage, private entrance. Like, we really only have to see our neighbors when we are like in the driveway or pulling up, or if we decide to go down the front door instead of through the garage. So it's pretty nice to have a bunch of extra storage to put things away that don't fit, or, you know, you just don't have a use for right now. Like, we have a bunch of car seats and baby stuff that Kennedy is just simply outgrown. And so now we're just kind of sifting through what it looks like to get her, you know, she's growing, and it's actually fun, her being 18 months. Like, it's hilarious. Well, she will be 18 months on the 28th. So yeah, it's been very interesting, been very cool. But I will say on base, there are a lot of resources and a lot of dedicated things to do for families. Each neighborhood that I've been in so far on base has it has a nice park for kids to play in. It's about to be the summertime, so when the weather is nice and I have Kennedy on the weekends because she's at daycare right now, we take her out to the park, let her play. Like, there's a bunch of family oriented things for people to do here, especially because Fort Drum tends to get deployed a lot from what I hear. And so it's been just very interesting. It's been a very cool learning experience. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, your husband's gone. Don't you want to go back to North Carolina or go back to Detroit where you have family? But in reality, I think that robs me of the experience of learning what it is to be a military spouse. And quite frankly, things are not always going to be comfortable, and that's life. Like, it's not just marriage. It's not just being a mom. That is life. Like, there are going to be times where things are great, and there are going to be times where it's uncomfortable. And if you rob yourself of feeling those feelings and that experience, I think you kind of lose out on learning a lesson. And so I'm not intentionally making myself suffer. There are bright spots to staying here, and there are some days where I'm like, dang, I miss everybody, or I want to, go see people or whatever. But you make the best of it, because we always don't get to do exactly what we want. So I will say that this has been a positive so far. Thankfully, my husband and I, we do get to talk almost every day. So that is a beautiful thing. It's much easier so far on deployment than it was in basic, because we only talked on the weekends maybe. So much more interaction, and, we've gotten to spend a decent amount of time together. And yeah, so that's pretty much what it's like being here on Fort Drum. A few things that I have found very useful here is the EMP, which is the Employment Navigation Office. A lot of times, military spouses are up and moved, and they have to go where their husbands go. They have dedicated resources for wives so that they are, or spouses, so that they are able to navigate their careers and their resumes and job opportunities that are around on base. And not most of the times jobs are really looking for military spouses. So if you are a spouse and you are like, I don't know what to do, or I don't have this, like, look for the resources, look for help. These there are employees that are strictly on base to help you. And the amount of times that I've gone to, like, different meetings or different spaces with spouses, or that are for spouses that are meant as a resource, I've been hearing, yeah, we don't get a lot of spouses that show up, but we really encourage them to. So if you are wanting to get out and continue to work, because I want to continue to work. I am currently still working my job in Durham, but I'll be done with them at the end of June, just because it's a lot going on here, and I think I need an opportunity that's more military friendly. And if I can't have something fully remote, then I need to have something that is, sorry, y'all, I had to clear up some memory. So I don't know where I left off at, but I believe I was talking about the resources for spouses and how they're very useful. So hopefully, wherever you are stationed, you take the time to look into what spousal resources are there for you. It's like, if you're going to be inconvenienced by being separated from your family, and your husband's always working and stuff like that, like, at least try to get involved some sort of way. I've only been to, like, a couple SFRG meetings. Actually, I've only been to one. One I missed because I was ill, and then I guess there's one coming up. But yeah, try and get involved, I guess. I mean, I'm gonna try my best, but I'm also not gonna break my neck to necessarily be at the meetings all the time if I'm not missing anything. I just want to make sure that I stay in the know with the deployment and what's going on, so that our soldiers can return home safely, and I can keep up with that in that aspect. But that's pretty much all that I have. The weather is finally starting to break a little bit here, so we're getting more sunny days, which is nice. And yeah, if you have any questions, I guess, about on-post housing, let me know. If you have any questions about me being a military spouse, let me know. And if y'all want me to do any other videos, also let me know, but I'm going to try. I need to do more skincare videos. I've been really, like, I don't have anything on my face. I just did my brows and lashes because it's that kind of day. Honestly, I've been chilling on the makeup, and I want to get back into doing more makeup videos. It's just, you know, being a mother, your child requires a lot of your attention, and so I just try my best to be there for my daughter, especially during this time, because it's a transition. Like, she's used to her dad being home, and she's growing to really understand her relationship with her father. And so now with him being deployed, you know, I'm making sure that she's on FaceTime with him and she's talking to him, and she still says dad, and we look at pictures and stuff like that, because I don't want her to lose that memory of how much he cares about her. So that way when he returns, it's like we never missed a beat. So with that being said, I'm gonna stop the video right here. Thank you all for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe, and just chat with me a little bit. Like, it's social media, let's get social, like, talk. All right, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye.